Yes, everyone. Big up for Liverpool Profit. Back again with another match preview. So Liverpool take on Wolves again, but unfortunately this week there is no Premier League action. It sucks. It's annoying, but it is what it is. So we have no Premier League action this week, but we do have FA Cup again. So it is the FA Cup weekend. Some interesting fixtures coming up and taking place, but obviously, we're here to talk about Liverpool and the Reds. The Reds travel away to the Molineux again, twice in the space of 1 week to take on Wolverhampton Wanderers. Obviously, in the league, we played them on Tuesday, and of course, now again, we play them tomorrow, but this time in the FA Cup. So, of course, here to give you guys my thoughts and feelings ahead of the game, my predicted starting 11, and of course, my score prediction as well. So, before we get into it, drop a like, sub, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments as well, all of that. Having said that, let's waste no more time. Let's get straight into the match preview. So, Wolves versus Liverpool. Okay, look, trophy is a trophy, right? A trophy is a trophy. People say it doesn't matter what trophy it is as long as you get a trophy. And for Liverpool this season, with the money we spent, and I go on about this a lot, and I'll go on about it again. I'll say it again. With the money that Liverpool spent, we spent 400 million this summer, and you need to have something to back that up with come the end of the season. You don't spend all that money in the summer to go trophyless for the whole season because that's a disaster, and that shows you were unsuccessful. You didn't progress. So Liverpool need to win a trophy. I know it's still not going to look great on paper that we spent 400 million and we only won an FA Cup, but at least we have something to show for it. At least, if you know what I'm trying to say, it's better than having nothing. You know what I mean? We're still in the Champions League, but let's be honest, winning that is going to be a long shot because there's a lot of quality sides still in that tournament. So I highly doubt that we win the Champions League this year. Of course, I'm open to be proven wrong. Liverpool in the Champions League, we have the heritage, we have 6 European Cups. We do usually turn it on and we have looked better in Europe this season. However, I just believe if we come up against a half decent side in that competition, like a Bayern Munich, like a Atletico Madrid even, I feel we could come unstuck and they could knock us out. So I don't think the Champions League is realistic in my opinion. I think that's more of a dream. It's more hopeful. The FA Cup, however, on the other hand, I look at it completely differently. I think with the quality of players we have, depending on how serious we take it, I think Liverpool are more than good enough and have the squad to win the FA Cup. I genuinely believe that. So for me, we've got to take this competition seriously. We're already out of the other domestic competition. We were knocked out of the Carabao Cup, lost 3-0 at home to Palace, all because our manager decided that that competition wasn't important, disrespected it, got absolutely blasted at home by Palace. We're on, we're on the borderline here of having a decent season and a very bad season. It all depends on if we win the trophy here. So Slot, I'm hoping he learnt from that Palace game, and I think he has because he went strong against Brighton, went relatively strong against Barnsley as well. So I'm hoping that he's learnt his lesson from what he did in the Carabao Cup that cost us, because that could have been a trophy for us as well. Granted, it's not the big one, it's not the main one, it's not the one that everyone likes, but nonetheless, a trophy is a trophy. So I'm hoping he's learnt, and I think he has. I think he has. Like I said, against Brighton last time out in the FA Cup at home, we went with a relatively strong lineup. One or two tweaks, but relatively strong. Barnsley at home again, relatively strong. So it does look like we're taking the FA Cup seriously, which I like to see. Again, the FA Cup is a competition that has become a lot more open in recent years. You know, it used to be just Liverpool and City. It was either going to be one or the other for the domestic cups and the leagues, should I say? However, now a lot of the smaller clubs have gotten braver and given it more of a go, and they've actually won it. You saw last year Palace won the FA Cup. Who would have thought that a couple of years ago? Crystal Palace would be FA Cup winners. Newcastle won a Carabao Cup. Who would have thought that? You know what I'm saying? Tottenham won the Europa League. Who would have thought that? So these smaller clubs take this competition more seriously now, more so than before. I feel like now the competition, should I say? Well, the quality of the league has reduced. You know, before City and Liverpool were so good, no one else had a sniff. But both of those teams have declined massively to an extent where the smaller clubs like the Palaces, the Brightons, the Newcastles feel more brave. You know, they take this competition more seriously because now they feel like they have an opportunity and can actually win this one. Whereas before, they wouldn't have had the courage to do that. They would have been too scared. So again, I expect Brighton. I say Brighton. I expect Wolves tomorrow to take the game seriously. Look, Wolves, they're relegated in the league, so they're going down. They're not going to win the FA Cup if we're being realistic, but I still expect they'll try and have a decent-ish run in there, try and get deep. As for Liverpool's perspective here, like I said, if we had a bit more squad depth, we could have rotated more, but I think we need to go strong in this one. I genuinely feel we need to go strong. Obviously, on Tuesday night, we know what happened. We went to Molineux in the league, lost 2-1 with our first team out, which was a complete disaster if we're being totally honest about it. We can't let that happen again. We have to put what went wrong in the league on Tuesday right tomorrow in the cup. Going back to the Molineux, we may as well have stayed there. We may as well have gotten a hotel in Wolverhampton and just stayed there because, we're playing them in quick succession away from home twice in a week. Do I think the manager will go strong? I think, honestly, I see him rotating in this one. I see him rotating. I think he'll probably look at it in the sense of, well, Wolves are crap anyway. Although I wouldn't be doing that because they beat our first team on Tuesday. But he'll probably look at it in the sense of Wolves, whatever team we put out against Wolves, if we rotate, we should still be able to win. I think that's a bad idea, personally. I genuinely think that's a bad idea because I feel Wolves, like I said, will take it seriously. They've beaten us once, and I'm sure they're going to want to do it again. It's been a while since we played Wolves in the FA Cup, to be fair. We played them in the FA Cup, I believe, was it in 22-23, and we won 1-0 away from home. That was the year that Liverpool struggled, ultimately ended up trophyless, but yeah, we played them then. We played them back in 18-19 as well in the FA Cup. We lost 2-1 away from home, but back then, of course, Liverpool weren't really taking domestic competition seriously. And even all the way back in 16-17, we played them, and they beat us 2-1. That's taking it quite a bit back, but so our record isn't great against Wolves in the FA Cup. They've got 2 wins against us, and we've got 1 against them. So it's a game that I'm nervous about, but I shouldn't be nervous about this. I should be going into this game thinking Liverpool are going to get the win. They're going to get the win with relative comfort, and we're going to advance to the next round. But I can't sit here and say that. The Brighton performance in the last round was good. That was a good all-round performance. But the one before that, Barnsley at home, we weren't good. We had pretty much a full-strength team out against Barnsley, and we weren't good. We went life and death with them for most of the game. So only towards the end, we scored 2 goals. But we weren't good against Barnsley. It seems like no matter what team we put out, it just looks disjointed. The chemistry isn't there. It just looks like the team are not playing with each other or for each other. You know what I'm saying? And we're certainly not playing for the manager. We know that. So it's going to be interesting what the manager does tomorrow. Like I said, we have to win. If we go out tomorrow in the FA Cup, it will be a disaster. It will be an absolute disaster. Because then, not only are we out of FA Cup, we've lost again to Wolves consecutively back-to-back. There'll be more pressure on the manager. Slot will have more questions to ask or questions to answer. And of course, then it means we have to go all out in the Champions League. And that is a big 50-50 if we win it, let's be honest. So tomorrow, I want to see us take the game seriously. And I want to see a reaction as well, people. I want to see a reaction from Tuesday's game. Tuesday's game, it was, let's be honest, the performance was quite frankly pathetic on Tuesday against Wolves away. We put relatively strong side out. I predicted that exact starting 11 in my match preview. And they were the better side. They outfought us, they outworked us, they outmuscled us. And they deservedly got the win. So we need to see a reaction in this game. Whatever the team is on the pitch, we need to see a reaction. Put that game right. They beat us earlier in the week. Go back there now. And this time, get 3 points. Will Wolves go strong or will they go weak? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. If I was them, I'd probably just go with a strong lineup. They're out of they're getting relegated. They're finishing bottom. So they're not staying up in the league. I just go all out. You know what I'm saying? I just give it whatever. I just say screw it. Let's play a full team against Liverpool and see where it goes. Maybe they'll rotate, but I can't say because I'm not a Wolves fan. I don't know nothing from their perspective. I genuinely don't. So I can't sit here and say if Wolves will go strong or if they'll go weak because I genuinely don't know. That's not me being horrible. I genuinely do not know. All I can say is, all I can talk from is the Liverpool perspective, of course. And from our perspective, I know this is a competition. We have the quality to win. We should be looking to win. And we may have to win. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that we will take this game seriously. But you just never know with the manager. You know what I'm saying? There's every possibility he does exactly what he did against Crystal Palace and disrespects it. I wouldn't, to be fair, but who knows? I'm not slot at the end of the day. I'm not slot. Injury news for the game, nothing really. Everyone who's available is available. Of course, we know who the long-term injuries are. So again, I wouldn't be too upset if Slot played a relatively strong side, but you put in one or two youngsters, made one or two additions. I wouldn't be too upset with that. But if he goes and rotates the whole team, that's when I'll have an issue. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind Allison getting a rest for this game and maybe one or two others in the team. But overall, I want to see Liverpool go relatively strong and win the game. If we go relatively strong, I'd say we should win the game on paper, but I said that for the league game against them and we didn't do that. So who knows what's going to happen? All I know is we need to get the win and we need to advance. Losing to Wolves twice in a week would be a disaster and it would be very, very humiliating for us. So we'll see where it goes and we'll see what happens. But of course, I wanted to give you guys my predicted starting 11 for this game. I got it bang on for the last game against Wolves on Tuesday. I got it pretty much bang on in my match preview for that one. For this one, I've rotated quite a bit, so I've gone with a rotated 11. Still one or two strong, experienced players in the team, but majority of the team, I think, I have decided to rotate. I think the manager will rotate as well. I want him to go strong, but I think I do my lineups based on how I think the manager will go, not what I would do. Because what I would do and what he would do, completely different situation. Completely different situation. So if I just share the screen, I'll give you guys well, I'll let you guys see what I can see. You guys should be able to see this, right? You guys should be able to see this. Just go to that. As you can see, people, this is my starting 11 for tomorrow's game. As you can see, that's very, very, very rotated. A very different lineup, bar maybe one or two players from the game against Wolves midweek. Actually, you know what? Let me just change the left back position because I don't know why I put Kirkes in because I don't think Kirkes will play. I think it will be Roberts. I don't know why he wasn't in to begin with, but it's what it is, whatever. Let's just put Robbo in. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Robbo. There we go. Get rid of that. That's much better. I don't know why I had Kirkes in there, but whatever is what it is. As you can see, it's a much, much, much rotated side from the game against Wolves midweek. Obviously, that was a league game. Had to be a strong team. This one's an FA Cup game, and I think the manager will rotate a bit more. So I'll just run you guys through the lineup. In goal, it will be Mohamedashvili, I think. Again, it's an FA Cup tie. I'm surprised that Alisson started against Brighton in the last round. I wouldn't have started him. I would have given him a rest, but the manager decided to go with him. Mohamedashvili has been kicking off recently. He hasn't been too happy, which I think, again, it's crazy that he thinks he should have first team football when you look who's in front of him. But whatever is what it is. For this game, though, I think he'll get a start. So I think Alisson gets a rest, and I think Mohamedashvili comes in. At right back, on Tuesday night, it was Frimpong. For this one, I think the manager rotates with Gomez, so I think Gomez starts. But again, not upset with that because Gomez still has the experience at the end of the day. Centre-back pairing, I'm going to stick with Virgil and Ibu. We can't really rotate here. We can't because we have injuries. So there's no one we can rotate with. All you can do is pick up kids from the academy, and you do not want to do that. So it will be Virgil and Ibu again for this game. But they need to be better because they weren't good against Wolves. They were not good against Wolves midweek. Left back, I think Kirkes gets a rest. Like I said, I think Kirkes is our main left back, and Robbo gets used in the cup games. And again, this is a cup game, so I think for this one, Andrew Robertson will come in. Moving into midfield, a big change. I've took Maka and Gravenberch out. I think it will be Jones and Niona again. So I think the manager will mix a bit of experience with a bit of youth there. Jones, of course, experienced. Bring in Niona and give him some youth. Give him some game time for this one. So that's who I've gone with in the double pivot. Moving up top, okay, this is where the changes are here. I don't think Salah starts this game. I think Salah will get a rest because it is an FA Cup tie. So I've gone with Frimpong off the right wing. Now, it should be Federico Chiesa, But I just get a feeling like the manager isn't going to play him for this game. I don't know why. I just feel like the manager won't give Chiesa a chance. I think we'll see him coming off the bench, but I just don't see him getting a start. I don't. I think, again, managers just don't rate Chiesa, man. He just doesn't rate Federico Chiesa. And I feel for the guy. So I'm going to go with Frimpong, but instead of playing right back, I think he'll play off the right wing. We know he can play there. He's done it before, so we'll see how he gets on. In the 10, Wirtz, of course, is still out for this game. So there won't be no Florian Wirtz. I think, again, only one you can really play there is Dominic Szoboszlai. So I think Szoboszlai keeps his spot in the 10. Off the left, here's where there's some positivity, people. I don't think Cody Gakpo plays this game. Again, I think Cody Gakpo in slot size is the main guy for the league games and the big games. And for the cup games, Rio is the guy. So for this one, I am happy to say I think Rio and Gamora will get a start. So I think Rio starts off the left, and I'm excited to see what he can do. Because every time he's played, he's looked good. And an up-top a striker, it will be Ekatike again, I believe. Again, who can you play up top other than Ekatike? He can't play Isak there because he's injured. And again, there's no one else behind Isak. So I think Hugo, again, will get the game here. And I feel for Hugo because I do think his form has dipped recently. But I don't think that's on him. I feel that's more because he's been run into the ground. Because Isak's injured, we haven't been able to rotate the strikers around. And he's had to play week in, week out. So I feel naturally it's caught up to him and he's feeling a little bit tired. But yeah, that's my team for tomorrow's game. As you can see, a very, very different side from the game against on Tuesday. To when you guys do it again, Mohamedashvili in goal, Joe Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, Konate, and Robertson as the back four. Midfield double pivot of Jones and Nyonai. Across the attack, Frimpong, Szoboszlai and Nyonai. And then up top as the striker, I've gone with Hugo Ekatike. So that's the team. I don't know how Wolves will line up. If Wolves line up strong, it will probably be a difficult game. If they line up weaker, I think it might end up being a comfortable evening for Liverpool. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's the team, people, that I've gone with. As for my score prediction for the game, then, it is time to give the score prediction. We have to win. We have to win. And I think we will win. I think Liverpool will get our revenge on Wolves. I'm going to go with a 2-0 victory. Nothing special, nothing amazing, nothing out of this world. But I think we'll go there and we'll get the job done. Even with a rotated 11, I do think we'll get the job done. So I think we get our payback on Wolves tomorrow. I'm going to go with a 2-0 victory to the Reds and for us to advance to the next round of the FA Cup. But of course, never rule out a sock, people. You know what I'm saying? Never rule out a sock. But I'm going 2-0 to Liverpool. Let me know your score prediction and your thoughts on the game down below in the comment section as well. Other than that, people, that is it. We've reached the end of today's preview. I'll be back a little later on with a live stream, talking a bit more about the game and everything. I'll be back tomorrow with my match reaction after the game. So stay tuned for that, people. And yeah, big up to every single one of you. On your way out, drop a like on the video, sub to the channel. Like I said, get in the comments as well. And having said that, I'm out, people. Liverpool Prophet out. Catch you all soon. Peace.